Boom shakalaka, the worst Bitcoin chart I have seen in a long time, and the one redeeming chart. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including the worst chart I've seen in a long time, and the one redeeming chart for Bitcoin. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, come join us on Twitter at Crypto Love. Push that like button. Now today, fear and greed at 40, same as we've been for the past week. No changes there. Also, no changes in the entire market. Bitcoin at 25,933, Ethereum at 1636, BNB at 214, XRP 50 cents, Cardano 25 cents, Dogecoin 6 cents, Solana $19, and Tron 7 cents. Bitcoin right now sitting in this wedge that's bound to break out by the first week in October. Right now, above this support level, $25,000 has been long-term support and resistance for Bitcoin for well over a year, all the way back to roughly June of 2022. Now, Bitcoin is under the 50, the 100, and 200-day moving averages at this point. We'll have to see how things break up or down when we have this breakout in the next month. Now, September historically has been the worst month for Bitcoin. And guess what? Everybody knows this. The market loves to disappoint the most people possible. Since everybody knows Bitcoin is going to go down in September, wouldn't it be interesting if we had a massive green dildo candle? It wouldn't be the first time Bitcoin's disappointed everybody. But this chart right here is probably the saddest chart I have ever seen for Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's 4-year compound annual growth rate is down to 28%. That's terrible. Just a few years ago, before the top in 2020, it was about 100% year on year. Right now, 28%. What's the savings account nowadays? Like 0.8%, 0.2%, 0.1%? Bitcoin's still doing better than that, but definitely down from 100%. One of the saddest things I've seen in a long time. And where Bitcoin is right now, a lot of people losing faith. They're saying, hey, if Bitcoin can't hold this $25,000 support, guess what? There is nothing until $23,000. And then nothing really serious until $20,000. And if it breaks through there, all the way down to $16,000. Now, some Bitcoin bears are praying for that. They're saying, yeah, I'm going to scoop up Bitcoin at $16,000, $10,000. No, they won't, because they didn't scoop it up last time. They'll be too scared that it's going down to zero, and then they won't scoop it up. But the chances of it going down there, as a matter of fact, if you stay tuned till later on, I think that's this chart right here, we have some interesting chart as to it's pretty unlikely to go down there. Possible, but pretty darn unlikely. There is the possibility, though, it could drop. Maybe a flash wick, some type of black swan. I hear Rubini's saying the overall stock market's down for 10% crash from where it is right now. Possible, okay? Now, in previous cycles, Bitcoin has reached the proof of work floor pricing model to mark the end of a bearish trend. Right now, this sits at $14,800, this red line right here. We haven't touched it this cycle yet. We touched it in previous cycles. Could we be bound for even lower lows? Possible. Unlikely, but possible. Why? Well, one thing, the sentiment is changing drastically. Now, GBTC is Grayscale's Bitcoin whatever the heck you want to call it. But this generally gives us a good indicator towards sentiment towards Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was frothy and everybody was all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, guess what? It traded 35% above actual Bitcoin prices. Then all the way down when everybody was so negative, pretty much the bottom of the market, it traded at 48% below. We're all the way back to negative 18%. So sentiment is not back to nothing, but it's getting darn close. It's improving. And this model right here tells us, based on standard deviations, what Bitcoin price is likely to be. Now, there's a 60% chance, 60% of days, Bitcoin spends in this green area right here. Right now, the green area, $21,000 to $31,000. That means 2/3 of the time, Bitcoin is going to be in this area. Now, price could go down. It's possible. But guess what? Into this blue area, only 8% in days. One chance in 12. Okay? So, not very likely. And if we take a look, there's actually, for Bitcoin to go above the green area, it's actually 32%. A third of the time, Bitcoin would go above. So there's a much higher likelihood, 4 times greater likelihood that Bitcoin would go up than it would go down. But it's still possible for it to go down. I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying, hey, this is statistics. Let's play around with it and use it however we want. Now, if we take a look, this is very interesting. Bollinger Bands. We talk about the Bollinger Band with getting squeezed. But if we look historically, when Bitcoin drops down to the bottom Bollinger Band, guess what? Boom. Price jumps back up to at least the midline, sometimes even the top line after this happens. Had you have bought in each of these scenarios and then sold when it hit the midline, you'd be doing pretty darn good, bouncing off the bottom once again there. And if we take a look on a longer term time frame, I love long-term charts because you can't hide little fluctuations on these long-term charts. This is the monthly stochastic RSI. When it does hit the overbought zone, guess what? That has been the beginning of parabolic runs for Bitcoin. Right now we are in similar overbought zone. Could that be the beginning of a parabolic run for Bitcoin? Well, this indicator says yes. The OCC alert has been giving a green dot, has called pretty much every ideal buying scenario, called the COVID bottom, called the bottom in 2019, also called the bottom in 2015. Guess what? Another green dot right now. Didn't even call down here at $15,000. A little bit better opportunity right now. Could be the time, because guess what? Tick tock, tick tock. It's only a matter of time until the halving. What is that? Like 4, 5, 7 months left? Something like that until the next halving. And look at these charts, what happens after the halving. It starts to explode because of the halving. A lot of news goes out about Bitcoin. People start talking about, oh, there's limited supply, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Everybody knows the liquid supply has been dropping like mad. So once that happens, price is likely to go up dramatically. And if you have a longer term time frame like me, you just sit back and wait, because check this out. Based on what Bitcoin has done for history, and until it stops doing this, it's going to repeat doing this. This logarithmic curve for tops right now, but for 2025, the next halving, $150,000 to $200,000 top. But guess what? Before the decade is over, $400,000 to $600,000 Bitcoin, $500,000 Bitcoin. And like Michael Saylor says, if you don't think Bitcoin is going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a freaking retard. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.